Hey everyone. Yeah, I thought I'd kind of give you a little bit of a review, kind of overview, if you will, on the new printer we have here. It is the HP Deskjet 2132. It can print, scan, and copy, and it's affordable. It is affordable at a price of around $40, and if you have a discount at a job that sells it, it's a lot cheaper. But, with that said, exactly how good is this printer? Well, so far it has proven itself very well. Now, as you can see up here, this is where you copy and you scan. Of course, that works out very well because you don't have to worry about having a separate thing. Now, of course, me and my mom have another scanner. Well, actually, I have a scanner in my room, but that's only if something was to happen. This is a good scanner in itself because, like I said, it's both a copier and a scanner. So all in one. Now, as I said, it's a HP Deskjet 2132. The only bad thing about these printers sometimes, and I'm not sure if it's with all of them, is the fact that they do not come with a USB cord. Some do, some don't. This one did not, but fortunately we had the USB cord from the previous printer, which was the Lexmark that was here before. Now this works out very well. It does come with a disc, or a CD I should say. Comes with a CD, of course, right here. So you have to put that in. You have to put that in, or if your internet allows you to and you're able to also go online and possibly do it as well. But I recommend using the CD because I think it's well recommended that you do both, if not one or the other. So I use the CD, and it does come with a lot of things. It doesn't just come with, installing the program so you can print, scan, and copy. It comes with a lot of other things that eventually you do have to download down the line. Like HP Photo Creations is a tremendous option, a tremendous addition to have. Now basically with any software, new software, devices, whatever, they're going to come with a lot of new options. And most of these options or additions are free most of the time because you already paid for the system. They're free. There you go. Now, the reason I mention HP Photo Creations is because I recommend using that if you're going to print out photos. Whether they're 8x10s, they're 5x7s, 4x6s, whatever, 11x13s. I suggest using that option, that program, the HP Photo Creations, because if you try to print the photos through, let's say, your Windows photo viewer, they're not going to come out well. Even if you convert the picture to the settings that you need. If you go to online-convert.com, you go to the online converter or the image converter part of it. That's online-convert.com, and you go to the image converter portion of it, and you set the pixels for how big the picture is supposed to be. It'll come out good, but you're gonna have a lot of space, a lot of paper, a lot of white space basically left on the bottom and on the side. So you don't want that. You don't want nothing on the bottom of the side. If you're going to have any left over, you want to have something around the fact that it's going to fit in. So you want to go with the 8.5-11 pixels, which is 2550 times 30 pixels, or 3,000. It's 2550 pixels times 3,000, or 33,000. Or basically, it's 2,550 times 3,300 pixels. That's what it is. It's 2,550 times 3,300. Or if you want to make sure it's all in there and you don't have to cut out any, as much, I would go with either 2550, 2550, or 2550, 30, or 2550, 2550, or 2550, 3000. That's what I would go with. But that's just a recommendation, depending on how you look at it. And it really doesn't matter. I'm assuming it doesn't really matter if you, even if you download something. In fact, let me see something here for a second. I'm assuming it doesn't really matter if you convert or not, because it gives you that option to go to the 8 by 7, by 11. So it gives you that option right off the bat. So again, though, I do recommend it. I do recommend though going to online-convert.com just in case, so you have it properly set and everything. Now the HP Photo Creations does give you more options. It gives you different various sizes, unlike the Windows. So that's a good thing to go with, in my opinion. And it does give you different options. It gives you recipes, it gives you recipe cards, birthday cards, greeting cards. You know, you could do 2 pictures at once. You can print 2 pictures at once. The only problem with that, though, is you might end up having it crash. I tried to do 2 prints at once earlier today, and it crashed. So doing one at a time is probably the more recommended one. Now they do give you different options, like I said, 4 by 6, 5 by 7, 8 by 10, and 8.5 by 11. So that's the one you want to go with. Now, like I said, you can convert the picture if you want to be an 8 by 11 to the 8 by 11 standards, which again, like I say, is 2550 times 3300, or 2550 times 2550, or 2550 times 3000. You can do that, and that will work. Now it also gives you the option to load pictures from your computer or from your Facebook page, so that's pretty good. So, like I said, it's pretty good. I'm going to see here for a second on something just to make sure, because again, like I said, you may not have to go that route or anything. So let's see. Okay, looks good. Let's look at the print part. Yeah, it looks decent enough. It still cuts some things out, not much. Again, it all depends on the size, but it looks decent enough. So you can, whether or not you want to, you can do that, whether or not if you want to or not. It's not going to really matter, because from what I can tell here, you're still going to be cutting some stuff out, and depending on the frame that you have, it's going to, kind of cut out some sections of the picture too, even if you cut out some of those white pieces. So it's not really going to matter. It's going to measure it anyway. But again, that's a great. Again, that's an option. That's an app. That's an addition, a free addition. That if you get this printer, and I do recommend getting it for the price that it is. If you get this, or one that's like it, maybe one that's $10 more, whatever, make sure you get the HP Photo Creations to go with it, because you will have fun with that. There's no doubt about it. Again, you also can scan, you can copy, so if you need to copy something, you can scan it. There's no doubt about it. Now, it also has a few options on here too. I don't think you can see them. But on top here, where my finger's pointing, is the stop button. Basically the cancel button if you want to cancel something. You have the resume button, which is right under it. It's basically it's a button that, let's say your paper gets jammed or something, all you have to do is press the resume button, and the resume button, its icon is a paper, its icon on the button is a folded paper, well, not a folded paper, but a piece of paper with its left top folded, and it's got a little lightning in the middle. So that's the icon on this button here, on the second button, which is the resume button. And again, like I said, what it does, it allows you to resume. Let's say you have a paper jam, you fix it, it lets you resume. Now you also have the third button here is your copy button, and you can copy in black black ink if you want to, black and white. And then the other one is your copy and color button. So that's your button there. So these two right here, what I'm pointing at, the top one right here, I don't want to give you the middle finger there, sorry. This one here is your copy in black and white, and then this one is your copy in color. So black and white, color, and then below them you have the power button, and then below that you have the ink indicators as well, which is right here you have the color ink indicator and you have the black indicator right there. Now here this folds up right here, so like for easy storage or whatever, that folds up, goes back down, and this comes out, kind of helps extend, kind of keep the paper there from falling. Then right here you open this up and you put the ink right in. The ink, whatever they're called, the adapters for the ink will slide out to the middle just like with any printer when you open this, and it will let you install or replace the ink if it gets low, or if you're buying it for the first time, it'll allow you to install it. Now the one good thing about this, as far as I know, it came with two cartridges of ink, which have lasted so far. Of course, this was a couple of days ago, so it was back on the 29th, so it's not really that big of a deal. Was it? Yeah, it was on the 29th. I was off that day, so it's not that big of a deal. But I do recommend, in case, let's say, you like to print out some stuff, especially as we get into the holidays and everything, I do recommend getting additional ink down the line, because let's say you've got someone that's doing class, you got someone that's going to class at night or during the day, and they need to print out stuff, or they need to make copies of important information for themselves. This is the way to do it. Always make sure to have an additional one, even if you have to buy it a few days later. Always make sure you buy the 2-pack. And this was the only one left at my job, so hopefully they'll be putting more in as time goes on, because why would they be selling the printers if they didn't have this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, and I can also get it online if I have to, but still, the point is, always make sure you get one of these, an additional one of these, when you get a printer like this. So that way you always have, that way basically you won't have to worry about going out and buying more ink. And I do recommend that if you ever get paid once in a while, just to get more and more and more, so you don't have to worry about going out and going out and going out in the future. Because I'm pretty sure the average lifespan for something like an ink cartridge is about a few weeks, depending on how much you print, how much you use it. That, to me, is the average. The average lifespan is about a week, couple weeks, maybe a month, month and a half, depending on how much. Well, basically, it all depends on how much you use it. But on average, if you have to use it a lot, I would say about a couple weeks, maybe a month, maybe a month and a half. But in my opinion, that's just the average lifespan. So, again, I do recommend getting it. And if you're going to get, if you need paper, I do recommend getting this, whether it's HP or Georgia Pacific. I recommend getting a mega pack, the 750, or depending on which kind you use. You can also get the 500 pack, which is good. But again, it all depends. All depends on the kind of paper you use. But I do recommend getting the bigger pack of it, the mega pack, the one that's about 750, 900. Basically something that's going to last you a while. And also, if you're going to do photo, I do recommend getting the everyday photo paper or the glossy paper, depending on how you're going to be using it for your photos. And also, if you're going to do it, it doesn't have the option on HP Photos. I don't know what that was. I thought I heard something, but anyway, it doesn't have the option on HP Photos unless you look. I think it does. You just got to edit a little bit, so I'm pretty sure it's there. But if the option is on HP Photos, I do recommend using best option, but it doesn't look like you'll need to use best option because I printed out a few things today and they look fantastic. So I don't think you have to worry about best or anything unless you want to get really, really fancy. But overall, I do recommend if you need an affordable printer to get the HP Deskjet 2132. It's worth it. It's got copy, it's got scan. It doesn't have fax, so if you want the fax, you're going to have to probably get one that's almost like in the 60s or 70s, maybe the 40s, I'm not really sure. But I would recommend getting that kind of a printer if you want the fax portion of it. But if not, because heck, in today's society, we got all these iPods and tablets and all that. I don't think you really need it. So I don't think you would really need something like that. But anyway, I would recommend getting something like. But I would recommend on an affordable standpoint to get this. If you don't need the fax, I don't think you will, because this does basically scan, copy, and print, and at an affordable price. So definitely look into a Deskjet 2132. It's worth it in the long run as far as I'm concerned. It prints out some great pictures, there's no doubt about that. I mean, if you're a Sonic fan like I am, and you like the covers sometimes they give you for like the comic books, this is definitely the app I would go with. Again, this is definitely the app I would go with to okay, let's see. Okay, they have a crop here, so okay, I'm looking here. They've got crop, they've got brightness and contrast, they got red eye, airbrush, tint, rotate, premium, which is something you got to purchase to unlock, but that basically gives you probably a little bit more. But you get a crop. Basically, you can crop your picture if you want to. So I might look into that in the near future. But anyway, that's basically, there are some edit features: the crop, the brightness, red eye, whatever. But so far, everything looks good. Everything looks really good. So overall, though, that's just my overview review on the HP Deskjet 2132, as well as the photo creations that is an option that comes with it when you use the disc or when you install it with the CD or online. I recommend the CD more than anything. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Tell me what you think down below, and I'm out.